Yo, what's the dealio, man? Listen, you already know I got a straight banger for you today, all right? So listen, y'all. In this video, what we're gonna talk about is being overwhelmed with your trades, right? I hear this all the time from people in the Discord. They be like, I don't know which trade to choose from, right? I don't know, it'd be so many. Okay, so that's what we're gonna talk about today. How to know which trades to really choose from, right? To filter through. So when me and Marcel are sharing trades, it could be a scalp trade, it could be a swing trade, it could be a day trade. Sometimes we call certain trades at the same time, and people are like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what trades to take. They all sound good. So this is going to be something for you guys to understand and filter through, but also on your own. If you're trading on your own, this is something to think about. Okay. So what we're going to do is I got the iPad, and you already know how we get down with the whiteboard. I'm going to break some stuff down for you guys. All right. So what I will say is, if you guys are watching this video looking for financial advice, nothing that I say in this video is financial advice. If you want financial advice, go talk to a licensed financial advisor. Okay? But what I will say is, if you want, perspective and insight on the market, on what's going on, then feel free to tap into it and we're going to make it happen. All right? So, like I said, we got the iPad right here. All right, so we got the iPad right here, right? So when we're looking at different things to consider, right? If you're overwhelmed by what trades to take, okay? Whether you can see 4 setups on the charts and be like, man, I don't know which one I want to trade. Okay. First things first, we need to understand. You want to look at this like a business, right? So you got a business. Do that. So we got a business. Okay. Every single business has their core product offerings, right? So I don't care about McDonald's, but we know that they got the Big Mac, right? Big Mac fries, okay? What else? They got the quarter pounder, okay? And those are like core. If you go burger joints, they got burgers and fries. That's the core. And then they got the other things, right? Whatever the company is, they're gonna have their core products. So you gotta understand, okay, first things first, I need to have my core stocks that I'm trading. Okay. So I think that everybody should always have an ETF, right, in their mix. So first things first, you should always have an ETF that you're always trading. Now for me, y'all already know I'm rocking with IWM, okay, Russell 2000, small cap stock ETFs, right? So every day, I'm always going to be looking at IWM no matter what, okay? Some days it's going to have a really nice move. Some days it's going to be choppy. Some days it's going to put you to sleep and then blast off. Some days it's going to be extremely volatile and go up and go down and give you 200% in both ways, right? But I'm going to always have an ETF. If you in a Discord, your ETF of choice should be IWM. If I'm just being honest, right? Until you really start to understand the market, start to understand what sector you want to trade and stuff like that. Okay, but IWM, I understand it pretty well. I'm pretty good at it, right? When it comes to IWM, if I call out a trade, 90% of the time it will work. Okay, 90% of the time. When we're calling IWM, 90% of the time people are getting at least bare minimum, I would say 30%, right? And beyond, right? Other day, somebody got 400% off of IWM. So this is how IWM can change your life, right? And then you want to have, on a day-to-day basis, you want to have 1 to 2 stocks, okay? Now, obviously, this is my opinion. So everybody else is going to tell you just find 1 stock to trade, all right? Listen, do what you want to do what's best for you, but I'm just telling you, when you have a business, sometimes IWM might not be the stock to trade, okay? So you want to save, 2 slots, okay, for setups, right? So you got IWM. Every day you focusing on IWM, and then you got two slots for setups, and you're gonna take the best 2 setups that you can find, and then you put them in these 2 slots. So now every day you have 3 stocks on your watch list. All right. So next up, right? So next thing we're gonna do is, now we're looking at the actual trades inside of the day, right? Intraday. So first things first, you wanna focus on your RR, okay? What is your RR? Your risk to reward, okay? If you see that the stock, you know, on the daily setup, it looks good, but right now it has a lot of traffic, or it's consolidating, or it's very close to your price target, then don't take that trade, because the risk to reward is not there. You want to know that there's enough room to go so that you can get out, you know, 30 to 50% if you're trading IWM, right? If it's very close to the price target, then it might bounce, you might lose money and stuff like that. Okay, so that is the first thing that you want to focus on is risk to reward. What is the spacing? I did a video about spacing, right? If you have not watched that video, please go back to my videos and watch the video about spacing. All right. The next thing, right? You're gonna say best probability setups. Okay. That's the next thing. All right. Now you guys already know at this point, and if you're new, you're gonna figure it out. I use the strat method. Okay. The strat method, in my opinion, is the best way to find setups. It's the best way to read price action, and it will give you, if you couple IWM with the strat method, you could be a millionaire in 2 to 3 years, right? I know that sounds crazy, but you can do it, right? You can make 6 figures your first year trading IWM, starting out with $1,000, $1,500, $2,000, right? I know it sounds crazy, but this is an actual fact. All right, you can make 6 figures a year off of IWM alone when you're using the strat method. All right, if you don't believe me, go watch my video from $1,000 to $131,000 and watch how you can compound your account over time. Okay, so we got have your core stocks that you're trading, right? Focus on your risk to reward. Your core stocks are going to be one ETF of your choice. I like to say IWM, and then you got 2 slots every day for stocks that have the setups that you like. Okay, and then we're going to sit here and say, what's the risk to reward? That's the next thing you want to focus on. And then we got the best probability setups. Now, inside of the strat method, I like to focus on 2-1-2s or 3-1-2s, right? Those are my favorite 2. And then I also love a good 3-2, okay? 3-2. Now, that's right there. These 3 setups for me work like butter, all right? They work like butter. On a higher time frame, you really can't lose with these right here. You can pull out 30% on these trades right here, okay? Bare minimum 20%. And I remember before I started trading the strat, I was putting a higher size amount in my trades, and I was getting, you know, 8 to 12%. When I started trading the strat, I started popping out, you know, 30% like it was nothing and within 10 minutes, okay? The strat is a very powerful strategy once you understand it and once you learn it. And everybody inside the Discord, I'm telling you guys, they literally are blown away at how much bigger their profits are, okay? So the strat method, the setups within the strat method, if you don't know about the strat method, go watch my playlist on the strat method, because I have a whole playlist about the strat method, and people that watch these videos, their life changes, their profits change, okay? So the next thing you want to consider or ask yourself is going to be contract prices, okay? So the whole goal is to get the most amount of money you can with the least amount of money exposed to risk, okay? So with that being said, when it comes to contract prices, you want to ask yourself, right? What is the best bang for my buck? All right, that's what you want to ask yourself, okay? This is my opinion. I always say I don't like trading stocks that have contract prices, you know, higher than maybe $400. There's nothing wrong with that, right? Can I afford it? Yes. But at the end of the day, if I could trade IWM between Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and then on Thursday and Friday, the stocks that are a little bit more expensive, now the contracts have dropped, and I can find a setup on a Thursday or Friday, and I can now get closer to 0 day to expiration, I will do that, okay? If I want to swing trade, obviously I'm going to be trading weeklies. I may get a little bit out the money, but I'm going to be looking at contract prices as well to kind of see, to narrow it down when I'm looking at certain trades to enter in, right? If I'm looking at a regular stock in IWM, probably if it's on a Monday or a Tuesday, most likely I'm going to choose IWM over the other stock. And sometimes the other stock ends up going in the direction faster than IWM, right? Everything is always going to be a calculated risk, but you want to have this stuff down in your mind, what your rules are and stuff like that, right? And then the next thing you're going to ask yourself is what time frame do I see it on? See the setup on. Okay? If you see the setup on a 15-minute, it's like, okay, cool. But if you see a setup on the hourly, you should take the hourly setup over the 15-minute setup. I know it may take a little bit longer to hit the target, whatever the case may be, right? But at the end of the day, that's going to pay you more, okay? Because you may get in on a 15-minute and then it go the opposite way on the hourly, right? So you want to ask yourself, what time frame do I see the setup on, okay? What is the setup, right? That's the best probability setup. What setup am I taking, right? Contract prices. You don't want to get in a contract for $800 and then off of the 15-minute time frame and then it go the opposite way, right? You don't want to do that. So what time frame do I see the setup on? I always say the 30-minute time frame and above is going to be bread and butter. That's going to protect you. It's going to keep you safe. Anytime you start going below that 30-minute time frame, the 15-minute time frame is cool, but you got to be quick on your feet, and there is going to be a lot more eradication, right? Erratic moves. So I'm not saying you can't trade on a lower time frame. What I'm saying is that 30-minute time frame is going to help you calm down. It's going to help you relax your nervous system, and you will end up making more money over the long term. Okay. I use a smaller time frame for my entry sometimes, but I'm waiting on closures on the 30-minute time frame or above 9 times out of 10. Okay. And then the last thing I want you guys to think about is simple. What's my buying power, y'all? Okay. If you're in a trade, if you're about to get in a trade, don't sit here and be, using all of your buying power. Okay. And it's 10 a.m. or 30 minutes into the market if you're on the East Coast, right? You want to make sure you guys are being responsible with your buying power. Every single day, by the end of the day, you should never be out of buying power. Ever, ever, ever be out of buying power. Because what if an opportunity presents itself and you got a buying power and then the stock gaps up, by $15 and you was going to get into it, but you just ran out of buying power, right? Always be disciplined with your buying power, even if you take an L, okay? You could take an L, but don't allow your buying power to be out and then you be down on the day. Okay, that's not discipline. That's not risk management, right? That's recklessness, okay? So these are the things you want to think about, all right? Have one ETF that you're trading because you could always have 0 day to expiration. It's going to be volatile. It's going to go up and down. So it's always going to present you with moves, right? And then you have 2 slots for stocks, okay? For setups that you see off the daily time frame that you can find and trade the next day. Next, you want to focus on your risk to reward on that setup, okay? The next thing is you want to focus on the probability of the actual setup. I use the strat method for my setups, okay? I don't know how people find setups outside of the strat method, okay? But I use the strat method. I like the 2-1-2, the 3-1-2, and the 3-2, right? And then you want to focus on your contract prices. Me personally, I like finding stocks that have cheaper contract prices or trading them closer to the end of the week if they are a little bit more expensive, because I can get those contract premiums a lot lower and I can lower my exposure to risk, okay? And then lastly, well, the other one is going to be what time frame do I see the setup on? The smaller the time frame, the less valid that setup is for me, in my opinion, in my eyes, okay? Last thing is going to be my buying power. Make sure you never run out of buying power. Start disciplining yourself to ensure you never run out of buying power by the end of the day. If you can do that, you will be successful in this thing of trading, and you will get better, and you will get better, and you will get better. Okay? So that is how you can slow down yourself from being overwhelmed, y'all. Okay? That's how you can stop yourself from being overwhelmed with trading, and you can know which ones to take. Okay? So I hope that this video helped you guys out. I hope you guys had a great week in the market, and I hope that over the weekend you guys study and you also have a great weekend. All right. So like I always say, man, make sure you get up out your head, go get into this world, because your head is a dangerous place to live, man. All right. And also remember, y'all, the more you study, the less you worry. All right. Listen, y'all have a great day. Y'all have a great weekend. I'm gonna holler at you guys on tomorrow's video. All of y'all stay smooth, man. Peace.